Hey there, guys. What is going on? Sloppy here. Got that morning voice. Not going to be able to hit those high notes, but I've got a fantastic coffee beside me. Nice Nespresso. Ooh. So good. So good. And I'm excited to be playing more Stardew Valley. I actually just recorded the start of this and messed up my microphone again. Let's not talk about it. But I bought a bunch of new seeds. We have zero money again. But that's alright. That's alright, because our seeds are going to grow. They're going to turn into beautiful crops that we will sell for more profit. We are going to become the tycoon of this place. Anyway, there's one that interests me here. Build a coop. We have to go see Robin, who lives north of town. There. Wait, what time is it? It's 2:20. She closes at 5. Okay, we gotta hurry. 2:30. Okay. Anyway, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. I believe Inauguration Day. So to all you Americans, thank goodness we got here. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. Coming from your neighbor up top, it's been 4 years. It's been something. Not to get political, but glad we don't have to, do that anymore, I guess. Sort of off to the side up here. But yeah, happy Inauguration Day. It's, I guess a holiday? I don't know. Probably, right? I don't know if you guys get it off work. If you get Monday off work, though, I think it's MLK Day, which is really exciting. So, that's cool. Hey, guy. Need something built? Yep. Coop. 4,000 gold, 300 wood, 100 stone. Okay, so there's a few different builds here. Sorry, it took me a moment to process all of this. So we've got the coop. It houses 4 coop-dwelling animals. So that's what our quest is. The barn, the well, cut and store grass for feed, mill. Fill it with whatever you like. So that's just an extra building. Raise fish and harvest their produce. Fish multiply over time. This actually... I mean, obviously we don't have that gold yet, but that's something I would like. I feel like this would be good to get, like, quicker rather than not, maybe. Because that seems like it would be, like, just profit coming in. What do they call that when you don't really have to think about it? You get it. We got a cabin, a home for a friend. Subsidized by the town. Oh, okay. I think this is how you, like, make your... game multiplayer. You build one of these and then somebody can come join. Stable. That's pretty cool. Allows you to keep and ride a horse included. So that's cool. Raise up to 20 slimes. That's probably in the future. This we already have. So, sorry, what was it, Robin? 4,300, 100. Upgrade house. Size of your house and add a kitchen. Ooh, okay. So a lot of options with Robin. That's good. That's good. I feel like we're slacking on the social side of stuff. We're in lockdown, guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ontario just went hardcore lockdown, which has been good. We need it. People have been very blasé about the rules, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't mind. I got enough video games to play, That's really... If they want people to get with the lockdown, what they need to do is subsidize the price of gaming PCs. I think that would solve everything. But, that's why I'm not in government. That'd be my platform. Anyway, we're heading home, so... We need 4,000 gold... 4,000 gold. Is it 300 wood, 100 stone? we have 15 wood. Okay, so we're a little bit a ways. We're a little bit a ways, but that's a museum. Museum. Blacksmith. Although I don't have any money, so I don't think I can do that yet. And I guess we can just sell that. Well, let's put that in there. I guess we'll go to the museum tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, I guess let's spend the rest of our energy cutting trees. I don't really have a topic for this episode. I try and come into it with a topic, but this was a little bit more free form. I just wanted to play the game a little bit. I didn't really have anything to talk about. Did I just lose all those because it fell in the water? I guess maybe you have to be careful what way you cut trees. Yeah, not much of a topic. Last time I talked about movies, which hopefully you guys enjoyed. I actually haven't seen the comments on that one yet. I don't want everything to be about like TV and movies, but that's kind of all I'm doing recently. Although I have been reading a lot of books. I'm about to start a book called, I believe it's called Name of the Wind. It's Patrick Rothfuss. It's an American author. It's a, what do you call it? Like a fantasy book. It's been a while since I've read fantasy. I've been reading a few sci-fi books and stuff. But it's been a while since I've read fantasy. So I'm actually kind of excited. I think Kingkiller Chronicles is the name of sort of the series. Usually with series like that, I read the first book, and if I'm into it, I'll read it. If not, I just cut my losses. Some of them, you know. The last one I read that's like a fantasy series. Ooh. Look at that. Foraging. What's up? 25 gold. Okay, so selling mob drops, kinda not worth it. Kinda not worth it. Alright. But yeah, it's, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm also reading... Gotta stop doing that, man. Keep killing my crops instead of picking them. I'm also reading a book that's super cool about Antarctica. I like having a non-fiction book and a fiction book and then alternating between them. Maybe I'm weird, but that's how I like reading. I like reading non-fiction in the morning when I wake up. So the way I start my days, I guess I'll just start there. I make a pot of coffee and then I drink a glass of water while the coffee brews because water is really good for you when you wake up to get your body in motion, all of your internal body stuff. And then, while I drink my first cup of coffee, I really like reading. So I'll read for about 20 minutes and I really like reading nonfiction in the morning. But then in the evenings, I like reading fiction. So I usually have 2 books on the go at any time. And, well, actually, usually I have a 3rd book, an audiobook that I listen to while I work out. Maybe I'm weird about that. Now that I say it out loud, that does seem strange. But, you know, is what it is. Anyway, so I'm starting a fantasy book as my fiction book, because I just finished. Oh, it's bad that I already forgot the name of the book, because it just wasn't very good. You know what, I won't even say it. I don't want to call out anyone. But yeah, I'm reading a book. The nonfiction book is called... Let me see. It's right behind me. It's called Antarctica. It's by somebody named Gabrielle Walker. And basically, she was, I guess, hired. Basically, she got a bunch of permissions from, I guess, the American government, I assume. I don't think she's explicitly stated it yet. But she got a bunch of permissions to basically visit all the different parts of Antarctica and talk to the people who work there. Antarctica, dream of mine to go there. But Antarctica basically is just a giant research continent, and there's basically treaties there that the only reason you could be there is for science. And occasionally they let writers and authors and poets and painters go there and sort of basically experience the culture and sort of write about it. And so she got to do that. She's an author, I think by trade. Is that a trade? She's a writer who got basically invited to go. And so she's in Antarctica. She gets to visit all the different Antarctica bases and stuff and write about them and the research they're doing and everything she's learned and explored. And it's just so cool. It really is. And yeah, donate to museum. I would like to donate this and this. Okay, not even a thank you. I see how it is. We're going to buy more seeds because we're going all in on farming. Anyway, really cool book. If you've ever been interested in Antarctica, it's really fascinating. It's also, well, it's really cool to read her descriptions of Antarctica because it's such like a breathtakingly weird place. And she's a very talented writer, but also reading all of her descriptions, she describes really well. She's talking to all these people and basically they're explaining the science of what they do to her. And it's so neat to hear that, I think. So anyway, really, really cool book. I'm learning a lot and it's been really fun. Keeps producing after that. We have 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. They keep producing. That's good. So we'll have a little bean on the side action. Yeah, awesome book. Really cool book. I just finished. I guess this will be the book episode. The audiobook I'm listening to right now is actually Ready Player 2. I'd never read Ready Player 1 until... I just finished Ready Player... So somebody gifted me an Audible membership. I've never been a huge audiobook fan. I prefer just kind of reading the book, if I'm honest. But somebody gifted it to me for... I guess, I think it was a 4-month subscription or 6 months or something. And Ready Player 2 had just come out, and I thought, you know what? I watched the Ready Player 1 movie, and I just thought, the book has to be way better, because there's no way it has this big of a following if that's how bad the book is. And yeah, the book's way different. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. If you're into, like, gaming, it's a really neat read because it's basically like a gaming fantasy book. It's really cool. I don't have to sell Ready Player 1. You guys have probably already read it or at least know a little bit about it. But it's really cool. It's a lot more adult than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like kind of a kid's book, but definitely some stuff in there. Some talk about naughty time robots and things of that nature. Maybe I don't like these beans. They're kind of a pain that you can't walk through them. These aren't ready, right? No. Okay. Yeah, it's a really cool book. So I got Ready Player 2 as well just now because I finished Ready Player 1 and I've been listening to that. It's all right. It almost feels like one of those books where like the first one was really successful, so they're like, you have to write a second, and he didn't quite have an idea. But it's pretty good so far, so I think he's done a good job of writing a sequel to a book that probably didn't need a sequel, you know what I mean? Occasionally there's just books where you're like, that ended fine. That's what I'm listening to. And then I just finished Nate Silver, who's you might recognize as the political analyst from NBC. He's basically a statistician by trade. He's a math nerd, and I sort of knew him. I actually didn't know he did political stuff. I knew him because he before he did political stuff, he actually did baseball statistics, which is something that I find quite fascinating. And so I knew him from that, and then I found out he's a political analyst now. He runs the website 538, which is a really cool website if you're ever curious about stuff. It's just a neat website. But yeah, interesting guy, interesting book. It's very different. It was pretty cool. Each chapter, I've never seen a book laid out like this, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. But it's kind of interesting because each chapter is basically, so it's a whole book about basically how much data we have in different fields, how we interpret that, and trying to separate useless data from useful data. It's called the signal and the noise. Basically, the signal is data that you can use to make decisions, where the noise is everything else. And it's really fascinating to hear somebody professional sort of can be planted, planted. So, this is what they were talking about, because we just leveled up our forage stuff. We can now have access to seeds. Okay, so I just plant? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just plant these here so we can get more wood at some point. That book's really cool, though. Each chapter is basically a different field, and he talks to experts in that field and sort of summarizes how different fields use data. Level 2 farming. Yes. Mayonnaise machine. Gross. So we got stone fence, mayonnaise machine, and sprinkler. A little bit more money. A little bit more money. We're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, so like one chapter he talks about like weather forecasting and how they use data and how they use more data now, and like how they use a computer to analyze data now versus what they used to do. It's all just really, really cool. So yeah. I don't know how I got so deep into books. I started talking about books. Now we're into books. The title of this episode will probably have to do with books now. Sorry, not sorry. Books are cool. Yeah. I also recently read, so in high school, in my high school, we had to read a lot of really stupid books. I thought at the time, I always liked reading on my own, and I always thought it was a little bit, I don't want to call out my teacher because I'm sure she had the best of intentions, but I always thought it was a little bit stupid how they made us read these books. I mean, first off, the study of English in Ontario is really aggressive. It's the only subject in high school that you have to take all 4 years. So math, science, gym, you can take like 2 or 3 classes, but English you have to take 4, which I always thought was dumb. I didn't think it was as important as the other things, especially when our English classes consisted of reading, you know, the classics and then sort of like writing essays about them. I always thought English should be much more fun and sort of a little bit less restrictive in terms of like what you can read. Anything down here? I don't know. I keep forgetting stuff has like hours. But yeah, I always thought English should be a little bit more inclusive. In like, I think it's tough to get a 10th grader or a 9th grader to really care that much about like Shakespeare or about, you know, I remember having to read Crime and Punishment when I was in the 11th grade, and quite frankly, I still think that book is boring. I thought it was boring then. I tried rereading it recently to see if I would have a different perspective. It's boring. I understand its purpose in history, its relevancy, but holy cow, it is such a slog. It's so long. All of the action, and by that I mean the one murder, takes place very early in the book. And it just felt like such a weird book to try and get a bunch of teenagers to care about. Where, you know, there's plenty of books that there's plenty of books that I did read that I was quite interested in. And yeah. can't get all of these done, but we can get a few. I don't know. That's always something I've thought, is that I thought more of my classmates especially would be more open to like reading the books if the books were better. For example, we got to read The House of Spirits. This is where I was going with this story. We got to read House of Spirits by Gabrielle Garcia Marquez. And it was a really interesting, fascinating book. It was really cool. And my whole class read it and loved it. And it was like, why do we not have more of this? You know, not necessarily more Marquez, but more books that are interesting. Like, I understand maybe reading Shakespeare every now and again. But like one a year was really, I thought, a bit aggressive. So it just said we got a reward. New reward. What was the reward? Collect rewards. Cauliflower seeds. Hey! Cool. Anyway, that's just a little rant about I think high school English could be better than it is. And like, you know, we read Beowulf, I thought was kind of interesting. And I get, you know, enjoying books is subjective, but just talking to my classmates and stuff, like there was a few books that all of us loved. There was quite a few books that everyone was just like, this is a lot to get through. You know, we had to read Les Mis in French, and ugh, I hate Les Mis. Terrible musical, terrible book, and I stand by that. Anyway, this rant aside, recently I read a Gabrielle Garcia Marquez book as well, which just such a talented author. I read a book called Strange Pilgrims. I also like, they're not super long, which is sometimes nice. It's almost like a novella as opposed to like a full book, which is sometimes lovely. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going weird with... Maybe I'm just growing weird the longer the pandemic goes on. Maybe that's all this is. You know what? I hate myself for doing this, but we're gonna plant the extra over here. Eventually, I do want these in neat rows that I know where everything is, but for now, that'll do, as the kids say. Yeah. I don't know where I was. I was talking about stuff and it... Yeah, books. 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 If you have any book recommendations, I would love to hear them down below. I recently finished the Dune series. Dune was one of those books I always heard about. It was like my dad's favorite books when he was a kid. And it was one of those book series I always sort of heard about. And you read them, and I thought it was fascinating because they really feel like the dad of sci-fi. Like, you read Dune, and all of a sudden you're like, it's almost like, I mean, this is going to sound weird, but it's almost like when you read the Bible and you're like, oh, I suddenly understand so many more, like, I see how this influenced so many more books and, like, references to this book. Like, Dune felt very much like that for sci-fi. Like, you read Dune and you're like, oh, this was, like, what all the sci-fi authors I've read recently, this is what they read, you know? Which was cool. Boy, there was a lot of books. I'm really excited for the movie. It almost feels like one of those book series, though, that I don't know if you can do it in, like, a movie. Yeah, it's pretty hefty. Okay, I'm looking for copper or to try and get to level 5. And there's copper. Is this one of the ones that jumps at me? Oh, okay, he crouches a little bit before he jumps. So we just gotta watch out for that. Be moving when he does, okay. Oh, we can block him. No, we can't, okay. Nope, never mind. But yeah, Dune was cool. That was an interesting read. I finished it though, which, yeah, towards the end I was definitely struggling to sort of pick that up. Yeah. Have I read any other fiction recently? I don't know, man. I'm also nervous to pick up books that I know have like a ton of follow-up books, because I'm like, am I sort of in for a penny, in for a pound now, you know? Do I really have time to read, you know, 9 books in a series? But then I'm like, well, I mean, I got plenty of time. Do I want to, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if they're good, then I'm really excited about it, you know? Oh man, I should have come back here. Oh. Should have come back here when I had the, should have come back here when I had that slime challenge. Anyway, yeah, books. Books are awesome. Yep. I would love any book recommendations, though. Some of my favorites, obviously Harry Potter, grew up on it. J.K. Rowling's recent... I don't know what to call it. J.K. Rowling's recent stuff notwithstanding, do love me some Harry Potter. I'm so excited for that Harry Potter RPG. Oh, one of my favorite games ever was Harry Potter and the... I can't remember. I think I had all of them up until like 5 or 6. I would buy every computer game. They used to make Harry Potter computer games that were actually really fun. But there was one of them where you could just like walk around Hogwarts, and it was like a dream come true. And yeah, I'm really excited about that Harry Potter RPG. That's going to be so fun. They did just delay it another year, but you know what? That's all right. I'd rather, at this point with everything that's happened, I would rather they take the extra time than to, you know, release it broken. Yeah. Do these ever have anything, or am I just breaking them for nothing? There's something. Okay, kinda just wanna... Yeah, that worked. Oh, now I'm in the same spot, though. Crab. Mixed seeds. Well, I mean, that's something. Well, shoot. Okay, what is this now? Topaz. Okay. I mean, that is cooler, so I'll take it. Now I'm really here for the stones. Now we've 3? Are you kidding me? I want to use up all my energy. I feel silly if I go home with energy left in my pocket. You know what? We need the stones, so I don't feel terrible about it. Yeah. Books. Books. I do see an elevator back there. I'm assuming it doesn't work and I have to repair it, but that is pretty cool. What do I do with this crab? I wonder if maybe when you get that fish pond thing, you can put this crab in it or something. Hey, man. Okay. I also like frogs, so... Weird thing to tell somebody who says hi to you. Oh, yeah. Yep. Is this the same contract? No. Today's somebody's birthday. Vincent. He's that little boy. Little boy Vincent. Feels weird when I say it like that. Yeah, don't mind me. Hey, it's Wednesday in game. That's fun. It's Wednesday in real life. I mean, not when I'm filming this, but when you see it. If you watch it the day of. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. So we'll cook those up. Yeah, stones away, clay. We got a crab, some monster loot, bug meat. I mean, I guess I'll just send both those in. You know what? I'm going to... We've got a few of these topazes now. I feel like we may have also already put one into the museum, or we keep getting them so it doesn't really matter. Either way, I'm curious how much some of these minerals sell for. Hello, 80 a pop. Okay. Okay. I don't want to say we're rocking and rolling, but we're rocking and rolling. Wozas! This is pretty. I don't know what's happening, but this is pretty. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to end this video here on this beautiful day. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know what you think in those comments down below. If you have any book recommendations, please send them along. Fiction or non-fiction. And yeah, subscribe for more, all that jazz. I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao!